Welcome to a special Behind the Wines bonus question episode. If you enjoyed our conversation and wanted to hear a little bit more from today's guest, you're in the right place. These are the extra questions, stories and moments that didn't quite make the main episode, but were far too good to leave behind. So if you're keen to dig a little deeper, hear a few more laughs, and get to know the person behind the wine just a little bit better, pour yourself a glass and enjoy this bonus conversation. And so how do you choose the different wineries and restaurants and hospitality partners?
Because I pay for pretty much majority of the wines I use in the events, I still believe that, at least offer to pay. I'm very fortunate now that, a lot of wineries are on board with helping and with offering their wines, and I'm very appreciative of that. But I always offer to pay because I understand it's a business and, why should I be entitled to get free bottles? And then if I get amount of free bottles, I will also make my tickets cheaper to the events because I feel like, that's the right thing to do to allow more people to come. And then choosing them, people have a preconceived conception of what is the best in the country at certain grapes. And then I will pick a few and then I will just go out into the forums and into the social media world and get people to vote or ask, what would you like to see in this lineup? Then see what gets a bunch of traction. But one thing that was always very important to me was showcasing a lot of regions. So for the first Chardonnay event, it would have been very easy to just be like, all right, Margaret River and Beechworth and we're done, 12 wines and you're done. But I covered Margaret River, Great Southern, Beechworth, Macedon, Geelong, Yarra, and the Hunter, Adelaide Hills. So I covered 7 regions within Australia, right? And I try and do at least 5 regions. For Shiraz, it was like, you could have just done all Barossa or everything from South Australia. But no, we had Heathcote, we had Yarra, we had Margaret River as well, definitely. I'm trying to showcase, so to give people something they wouldn't normally drink, because a lot of us just buy based on where we live or what we know or what's popular, and then trying to open people's eyes to, oh, wow, I love that. Someone votes something 20 and that was definitely the Margaret River Chardonnay. You're like, no, that was actually by far from Geelong. And everyone's like, whoa, my God, I love that. I need to get that in my cellar. I need that in my life right now. And they're the moments that drive me to keep going.
So what are some of the most popular experiences guests are booking right now with you?
I think the Challenge Series is always the most popular, like the best of and the best ofs, like the high-end events and the ones where you drink Grand Cru Burgundies or First Growth Bordeaux or you're having like dedicated tastings are popular. Right now, more than ever, because there is a flood of people doing events right now, it's a lot of people doing it. I think now you have to step up what you're doing. Like I do a lot of verticals now and masterclasses. So I did the Toll Puddle Chardonnay vertical recently with every vintage of Toll Puddle Chardonnay. David Lemire came over to host it with me. I'm doing the Lala vertical with Adam Foster, coming up, with every vintage of Lala. I'm doing a Henschke 40-year retrospective Mount Edelson tasting with Gwyn, trying to use now what I built over the last 5 or 6 years to get people to come to the events. So you're getting dedicated wine lovers, people that love Mount Edelson that want to come and try them all. But you're getting the experience from the winemaker or the vineyard manager or David being an MW, right? How many times do people sit in a room and have an MW who sat down the entire time at the table? He didn't stand up once to talk with his laptop taking notes and had everyone's attention for the 5 to 7 minutes he spoke for. Then we all went back to doing our own thing. Then he spoke, it's the perfect balance between entertainment and education. And it's easy for me too. I don't have to talk too much either.
It sounds like you like talking. So
I do.
alongside the experiences, Wine Animal also has, you have your online wine store.
Yep. It's growing now.
And so how that side of the business, well, we talked about earlier about Fruit of the Rosé, but how's that?
The website was never really a focus point of mine, being that it was, it's full time now and trying to put food on the table. It's always about, you got to do where you can make the money, obviously. But lately, the website for me now, I've put maybe 250 new bottles and SKUs on over the last few weeks. I don't have a warehouse. I don't, buy pallets of stock and hold it and sell it. I am almost like a drop shipping business where the orders come in and then I fulfill them through, which has bit me in the butt because, a wholesaler will run out of a wine or, the winery doesn't have any more of that vintage. It has its ups and downs. I'm getting better now at managing that and I've, got systems in place now to avoid that. But the retail side of things is a way to generate organic business, new business where people don't know who you are and then they might stumble across an event and grab a ticket to an event as well. That's that side.
And what's your philosophy then in selecting wines?
The philosophy is go to the wholesaler, the distributor, the importer. You want to put 50 SKUs on the website, give me the 50 that you want to promote, see on there, right? And it takes time because, to put wines on, getting the LUC, getting the margin right, you're also trying to not bastardize any brands by being a race to the bottom to have the cheapest price. Like, you're trying to respect RRPs and, but you'd also got to work out a way to get people to come to your site instead of going to somebody else to buy, right? Like, it's a fine line.
So you're not saying I want these wines?
There is certain wines that I pick that I want on there definitely because they are wines that I truly believe in and that I love. But it's like, reach out to the distributor. What do you got healthy stock? So I don't want something you've got 4 bottles left. I want something that you've got healthy stock of that you'd love to, or a brand that you would like to see pushed. And then we go from there. Like, that's sort of what's building at the moment, and I don't ever want to, right now, I don't ever want to have a warehouse with 20 pallets of different wines sitting there to sell, because that just then becomes a price war for who can get to the bottom quicker.
So you deal with a lot of people. What trends are you seeing in consumer preferences at the moment? And are people becoming more adventurous in what they're drinking?
I would have said yes. People were getting more adventurous and more willing to try the next level up, or a different producer from the same vineyard, or something that may be new in Australia. I definitely was noticing that. I think recently, I think now it's gone back to people are spending what money they do have on the stuff that they know and they expect a certain level of quality from. I don't think people have stopped spending. I think they've stopped spending at a certain level, definitely, and I think it's harder, like 100%. But people are still buying wine. People are still sharing wine. I just think that they're probably smarter too. There's a lot more information out there. It's easier to get a price on a bottle in 10 seconds to see what it compares to at another price. There is price competition now is at an all-time high. Competition in general in stores is at an all-time high. But I think people are probably, my view would be that people are spending money on things that they know now more so than what they were previously. So the expansion of like alternate varieties or different labels has slowed a little bit.
It sounds like they're becoming less adventurous.
I still think there's room for adventure and people are still there, but I think that it's gone a little bit back now. That's just the economy that we're in right now, and I don't think that it's a reflection of drinking habits or that Gen Z doesn't drink or whatever they are. Like, I did a poll recently about when did your love for wine start, right? And I had like 18 to 24, 25 to 30, up, right? And I would have had 50 messages directly, where's before 18? Under 18, like, where is that, right? And the biggest group was 25 to 34 was the largest group, but a massive group from 18 to 24. And I have a lot of young, and then I have a lot of 70 plus year old people come to events too. And to watch a 75-year-old couple drive all the way from Warrnambool for a dinner and sit next to 2 19-year-olds who are just absolutely frothing anything Shiraz right now, and to watch them engage and talk is unbelievable. Like, that is the beauty of what we do.
What's been the most rewarding part of building Wine Animals so far?
The groups that form throughout all the states. And I would have loved to last year for my 40th. I would have loved it. I'm a little bit of a selfish person in that regard, in liking a party and a little bit of a centre of attention. I would have loved to have held a birthday bash. My birthday's Christmas Eve, so it's tough, where all the people from around the different states came and shared their wines, because it would have been a reflection of what I've tried to build. And I think that I've always said that I would sacrifice high margins or profit in order for more people to be able to enjoy. And I think that, reigns true. While I do need to make money now, more so because it's my full-time gig than what it was before when it was just part-time, or like a hobby, we'll call it. I think that the best part is sitting back and watching people form friendships, or being part of a wine group that's formed, and you get, like in Brisbane, you're in a Brisbane wine chat with all the mates in Brisbane that met at your dinner. Some of them knew each other, most of them didn't, say, and you're part of the conversation still. And then when you go to Perth, you get 70 people come and fill out Lamonts, and sell out to host a dinner when, I come over there for 48 hours. That's the most rewarding part.
And that's a wrap on our Behind the Wines bonus questions. Thanks for sticking around for the extra stories, laughs and insights that didn't quite make the main episode. If you enjoyed this little bonus pour, don't forget the full bottle is waiting for you. Just head to the Behind the Wines website or your favourite podcast platform to catch the complete conversation with today's guest. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep your glass half full. Cheers.